Welcome back, everyone, here to game number 2 in our first series of the day, Publiclir versus Gamers2. We had a nail-biting overtime, double overtime experience there on Cash, where Publiclir did take it. I think 22-18 was that final scoreline. Gamers2 not even able to put up a round in second OT. But here we are on their pick, although surprisingly so, it's Overpass. I'm Helium, and with me is Metuz.
Hey, man. So, yeah, it is surprising. It certainly is. But it is a map that I've seen Gamers2 play on quite a few times. They are strong on this one. And look at the aggression already from Dominate. Having a quick, cheeky peek towards mid, throws out the grenade, but goes over the head of all the terrorists because they're playing so aggressively. He eats 54 HP worth of damage. And now the push for the terrorists is coming in. They are exchanging frags. Zitta gets one before being dropped. Here comes Quicks. Backside gets 2 kills. Looking for a third as well. Nearly connects that one. Here comes Mouse, though, with the retaliation kills. But this has definitely gone the way of the CTs. This retake should be pretty straightforward, but there is Mouse with another kill. A 1v2 now with the Glock. Peeks back up again. The bomb's being defused from Dominate. He has no kit. But look at the long way around that Mouse is coming in. Is he going to have enough time to get this kill? He's not. And the CTs pick it up.
Wow, big 4K on the round for Gamers2, but of course it doesn't really matter. It's nice. I mean, that's a ton of money going to Mouse. And they got the bomb down, so look at this, man. He's, with those kills, with that bomb money, going to go straight into it. He's got an AK, Tech 9, a smoke, and armor. Everyone else going for the pistols and the armor. So they've actually got a really good shot here on this round. And, I mean, that hurts, right? If Gamers2, because of their decent first round, which maybe they should have won, if they win here, it's actually almost a better scenario to just eco those CTs, because then they are so broke. They're right onto a double save. But these submachine guns will be strong against the Tech 9s, but they are still Tech 9s. Sparrow and Maniz lighting up that scoreboard. Now Mihu, and surely it's all Gamers2 in round 2. Downey, the last one up with just an MP7.
Oh, man. And this goes back to what I'm saying before as well, not to repeat myself too much as the last frag comes in from Innocent, that Publiclir's CT side is really shaky on most maps. They are definitely a stronger T side, and you could see Gamers2 there, just ruthless aggression, rushing straight onto B. What was it, 3 or 4 pistol frags unanswered?
Well,
Just Tech 9 rush.
the pop flash was insane.
Yeah.
And everyone was completely blind that was shot at least in the B site. But yeah, I don't know if they were expecting like that, you know, like rocket-fueled aggression on that second round, and an AK to surprise them. Now you've got 3 MP7s, 2 AKs. Publiclir's trying to force up here with just their pistols, but it's going to be a lot harder for them. Zitta, though, I mean, continuing his great performance from Cash, going to start things off with a first kill for Publiclir, and that will even it right back up 4-on-4, but still, Gamers2 is outgunning them significantly. 17K against 8K is the equipment value difference.
Just huge. And you're seeing Maniz now, not content with the opening 2 frags with the MP7s, now pushing into lower, looking to get around the back of the CTs as they try to rotate down. The bomb is finally coming in towards B and will be planted as well. And here comes Maniz. He's going to wait and get the 5 kill. There we go with the knife between the shoulder blades, and Downey is taken out of this round. Maniz is on the prowl for more frags. He's on for the ace, actually. 3 kills, 3 deaths on the side of Publiclir. And they're looking to potentially save up that CZ Zitta all the way around the back. Dominate is going to be spotted, but gets the frag anyway. And that's a lot of money, by the way. A big chunk of change going in Maniz's back pocket because of those frags and the knife kill.
Yeah, that's crazy. And his gun that round was one of the submachine guns, right?
Yeah, the MP7.
So he got $2,700, I think. Because you got 1,200 and 1,500. I mean, that's insane. And you're on that cheaper side, right? Like, you're a terrorist, your guns are coming from Goodwill, and you just picked up that much money. He's at 10 grand on round 4. That's insanity. And, well, 1 AK, a kit, and armor was saved by Zitta. And Zitta has been, you know, their star player for that last map and here. He's been exceptionally good at finding the opener. So maybe you can do that for them here. I mean, play behind Zitta with your pistols, let him get openers, and maybe you'll even it back up and have some AKs to deal in a 3-on-3 situation or something. I mean, that's what Publiclir's got to hope for, but they'll actually... I mean, they've got 2 posted up in bathrooms, and they go heavy towards B. And we'll see how it works. Bomb and terrorist coming up long.
We've almost seen the Publiclir are strong on eco rounds sometimes because of the difference it forces them mentality-wise to approach the rounds to come into. So they do have a frag hit, but they're going to lose 2 players in return. Make that 3 now. But there's Dominate with the AK, opens up, nearly throws his opportunity away, gets tagged on the recall, and that's the grenade to the forehead. So it is going to be Gamers2 in a 3-on-1 advantage. Quick's now coming down. He had a bit of a poor performance on Cash, I'd say. I was expecting him to do a bit better than that. And this is his chance to maybe make amends for that previous mishap. Gets the first kill onto Sparrow. 2 more to find and frag, and he has no defuse kit. This is going to be extremely difficult. And Mihu puts him out of his misery. 3-1 for Gamers2.
And now we'll just have to take a look. And let's see. Yeah, finally, Publiclir are going to be able to put a rifle round up on the board. And I mean, that's the danger of getting ecoed as a CT. More often than not, you get ecoed after winning a pistol, and you're just dropping 3 in a row with really not a good chance on any of them. And Gamers2, they capitalize on that. I mean, Manisi even gets through it with some extra style points. You know, finding a knife. That was quite hilarious. But here we go, 5-on-5. Let's look at that CT defense. Try to figure out who's playing where. We've got Downey. It looks like he'll be spotting out long. We saw him opping, and wow, who else but Zita finding that opening kill. Dominate playing on the stairs. Zita gets that kill over at B towards construction. Also playing there with Quicks and Awe.
There's a nice push in there through short. Got a great spawn for it. Completely caught Maniz off guard. Was not expecting that push in. Do you see a lot of CTs doing that with pop flashes? But that was pretty much just it. Making a sprint from the blocks and making sure he got there in quick time. That does put the terrorists on the back foot for a few moments. 3 players stacked on long. Make that 4. This is going to be an A play. Looks like they're going to send up, throw the set play in, and then explode onto the site. Still 2 players for the CTs, and now here comes the call that the terrorists are in close proximity. That's a lovely smoke, though. Pretty much just blocks off the terrorists. They can't afford to push through the smoke because it will be insta-death. And this is eating at their time. 35 seconds now, and they still haven't made a decision which site they're going to go for. I think it has to be an A, just purely based on the time.
Yeah, and I mean, I feel like overpasses, well, maybe I have to hold my thought as Mihu finds 1 kill, kind of bringing it back. They've stormed in. They're actually going to be able to plant and default there. Player over by the dumpster on those stairs. Always probably should have found the trade there immediately, but didn't quite get it. So the bomb's going to go down by the terrorists again. Good chance on the retake, though, for Publiclir. Yeah, Always and Zita will clean it up. But the point I wanted to make was that kind of running down the clock and going for a very late execute on a site doesn't really matter much on overpass because the rotation is so short either way. Unlike, I mean, even on Cash, which doesn't have a crazy long rotation, but I mean, at least if you get people to split up, you've got, you know, a couple seconds, probably like 5 to 10. On overpass, it's like 3 seconds.
Yeah, I definitely see where you're coming from. Yeah, and I guess that's one of the good things about Publiclir as well, that because they kind of had this half a mind towards watching Connector, they didn't fully show their hand and didn't give away needless kills because of that, over-rotating needlessly. So it allowed them to lock down the site there. Gamers2, though, did get a bomb plant, which will be somewhat of a disappointment to Publiclir because they're in a good position to fend that one off. And as I'm speaking, it is a 1-for-1 trade. Alway now is going to open up with the M4. Gets the headshot onto Innocent as he pushes in. Smoke lands on short. That's going to keep Zita guessing for a few more moments. But he just pushes through with ruthless aggression. And again, he gets 3 frags. This guy, he's been phenomenal tonight. Just run out of things to say about him.
Yeah, I think it's actually almost at like the same exact point. We're into round 7. He's got 9 kills. I think he hit a very similar scoreline on Cash. I'm actually going to go check. Let's see. What are we going into? Round 7 right now? Oh, I can't. Never mind. I could do that, but not from the page of stats that I am currently on. So I guess we'll hold off on that one.
I think you're right. I think it was like 9-4 somewhere around
yeah,
there.
he had 9 kills very early on. It might have even been earlier than this. But here we go. Gamers2 on that eco round. Zita once again going to get one in the back, but it was Sparrow with the first kill on the round. And Manise, it seems like he'll be okay to intercept Zita. He will. 2-on-2, just like that, and actually now with guns in their hands. No armor, though. Gamers2 are in a very good spot, and the CTs have split up. Downey starting to push down long. Dominate holding on to B. And actually, wow, they might just run straight past Downey and into the site. However, no one's gone up long, so they don't expect him to be here. And, yep, those hitboxes, still a problem, but he figures it out, finds the kill anyways.
His heart must have fell through his backside there, but he does get the second kill anyway. That was looking so weird for a few moments. As you say, like hitboxes. Hello,
Yeah.
Gaben. Hello.
Do not aim at the head of the planter because it is not there.
Oh man. So Gamers2 now, who did start very aggressively with 3 wins back to back, now find themselves 4-3 behind. Pretty standard for Counter-Strike, of course, especially on T side. And good news for the Swedes that their CT side is looking quite solid on these rifle rounds that have been locked in. Very similar to Cash for a lot of the time there, but Sparrow probably should have done better. He didn't even tag Dominate a single time there from point blank range, and Dominate didn't exactly get that perfectly himself, so you're seeing Publiclir picking up the 2-player advantage now and looking to force Gamers2 into an economic downturn. This is a lot better from the Swedes. Overpass seems to be much happier map for them on CT side thus far.
Yeah, it's also definitely just a more CT-sided map. But of course, you know, teams that pick the map do expect to play T-side, and you expect them to maybe, you know, be confident in the amount of rounds that they're going to be able to get, which, I mean, for the most part, Gamers2 don't have too much to really speak to in their rifle rounds. Yeah, they had that explosive Tech 9 and 1 AK second round, then they had the subsequent anti-ecos after they upset the pistol to find their 3 in a row. But 3 is not going to be quite enough. I mean, they definitely want 6 rounds on their T side if they've picked the map. And they're trying to plant. A plant would probably secure them rifles in the next round since they'll have a 4-round losing bonus. And Innocent, whoa, he better be careful with those bullets. He almost took down his teammate on that spray transfer. That nade from Alway, though, will be what actually does it. However, the bomb did go down, and that's fortunate for Innocent. It will give him a chance to work here. But in a 1-on-2 with 19 HP, it's going to be tough.
Be very tough, especially if the cities watch each other's backs. The bomb is being defused. Innocent wants to make sure, and in doing so, he finds himself eating bullets to the forehead, and that will be Publiclir with their 5th round. So Gamers2, though, did get that bomb planted, and as you called, that could potentially get them into another buy-up. Indeed it will. AKs with the Tech 9. Tech 9, I feel, is just very solid anyway, but especially on maps like Overpass, if you rush into B, there's so many close-knit claustrophobic corners where the Tech 9 is, in my opinion, equally strong to the likes of M4. If you can just dink somebody, it's super, super good. So it's a great weapon, but it seems to be like they're going through mid. Look at this aggressive push from Dominate. He's getting so much info. If he can get a couple kills as well, this is a fantastic play from him. Goes back in for seconds and catches Innocent off guard. And just like that, Gamers2 find themselves 2 players behind, soon to be 3.
Yeah, he kind of has to go for the repeat pushing long right there because there isn't really anywhere to fall back. Like, there's not a lot of cover in long. I guess maybe he could have made it back to that tree just so he could get peeked instead of having to re-peek, but whatever. He makes up for it. He finds the kill even though it was maybe slightly risky, and Gamers2 forcing up there. No bomb plant this time. But still, I mean, you're the terrorist side and you've hit max. At every round, they have to make the decision. Do we want to just kind of Tech 9 armor and then have a bigger rifle, or do we want to just have a kind of rifle round with some Galils mixed in? And it looks like the type of rifle round with some Galils mixed in will be their decision. Actually, only 1 Galil and 3 Tech 9s and a P250.
Yeah, interesting enough, they're not saving up a round to get an AWP on the hands of anyone. So they're much happier just running with this mixed match of weaponry and trying to just catch the CTs off guard. But look at this. This time around, it's going to be 4 players in the close proximity on B. They've guessed completely correctly, and Quicks with 2 kills. Minis comes back with some heroics with 2 frags of his own. But that's probably going to be all she wrote for this round. And there we go. All I knew. The likelihood is that it was in the smoke, and that's 7-3. So Gamers2, they're looking a bit against the ropes here. I'd almost like to see them try and run an AWP and try and mix things up a tiny bit here.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess that round was, they skimmed a little on it with mostly Tech 9, so they'll be able to go for all rifles, but no op, like you mentioned. We saw Sparrow holding it down over there on Cash on both sides, C, T, and T, but still not wanting to go for it here. And the op coming out for Downey right now. He'll be your long A player. And heavy towards B early on in this round for Publiclir. Dominate cutting off the stairs. And really a lot of map control to the CTs right now. However, information coming out that the terrorists are working their way up long.
Yeah, Downey did miss that shot, but the information was pretty key. I think he saw at least 2 players, potentially the 3rd. Manisa's going through connector, needs to be careful here because Dominates to his left-hand side, does get an opening pick. That's a pretty crucial frag as well for Gamers2. They have just added to that tally with the second, so Dominate and Owe both down. This is a pretty key round for Terrace. The 2 players up, you need to convert this into that 4th. It looks like that's exactly what's happening. Sparrow on long. They're trying to keep the CTs busy here and guessing potentially onto B. That's the 4th frag, but look at how many low players are on Gamers2. 8 for Innocent, 10 for Mihu, 6 for Sparrow. The bomb is being planted.
Oh my god, they're so low.
Quicks, you know, if he just walks into the right area here and just holds his trigger down, he could easily get 3 frags in quick succession. This is still doable, even though he's on 1v5.
Well, they have spread out quite a bit. I mean, Mihu's all the way back on the swings in the playground, just, you know, looking at the pretty flower and trying to stay calm despite being near death. And let's see if Quicks will go for it. I mean, they're not really in a great position money-wise, the CTs. So saving this would be a very... I mean, the smarter decision, and yeah, he'll get that 1 kill. He'll go for the save. Or will he? Manise was actually the 1 guy with HP.
Ooh. They lost a 3rd due to the bomb. I think that was Innocent that died. So, a bit costly at the end for Gamers2. They still have more than enough, and they have picked up the AWP as well. So they're going to be running it this time. Switch over to Manise. And correct as well what you said about CT's economy not being the greatest. And Lincoln in that 1v5, even though they probably would have guessed that 3 players were low, I don't know if they knew that they were around the 10 HP mark. And even if they did, a 1v5 is a tough ask, because if you get any kind of crossfire down onto Bank, he's pretty much screwed as soon as he walks out of that vicinity. So a smart decision was made. Manise with the AWP does get the pick onto Quicks. And look at this as well, Dominate's in a good position, but he gets his head took off clean off his shoulders. Innocent gets a second as well. Lovely spray control. And now Gamers2 are in the poised to get another round here.
Oh, Zeta though going to grab 2. And he gets the bomb down in the short bath here. He's even going to smoke it off. And I don't know, sometimes trying to play the bomb as a CT once you've got it down can end up being the death of you, and maybe better to... I guess they can't really group up. He's kind of surrounded in these bathrooms. Let's see if his buddy Awe can't help him out. He's in a pretty good spot. It's really just going to be who is not checking their 6 and gets shot in the back, I think, in this sort of scenario. I mean, there's just the number advantage to the terrorists, so you got to favor them here. Zeta will peek out and find a 3rd, but Innocent gets his 3rd to close out the round. And Gamers2 now, I mean, it was looking rough. Publiclir was looking like they were going to dominate this, but they find a 5th round there. That should be enough to put Publiclir on some sort of weird round or maybe even a save, and that should mean 6 in the bag for Gamers2, which is about what they would have wanted on their T side.
That's one of the beautiful things about Counter-Strike, is just when you start to think that one team is going to walk away with the map, the other team drags it back, and it's down to economy, it's down to momentum, all those key ingredients that make this such a tasty game. And now Gamers2, as you say, I mean, Publiclir on eco, they could very well pick up their 6th round here, they could even potentially take it 7 or 8 rounds, but they've lost the first player. Mihu took a bit of damage there from Zita, but he does get the frag regardless. And the CTs... They're really over-rotating. Oh. Look at that shot from Owe onto Mihu. And Sparrow's low as well. So again, Publiclir on an eco looking down and out have a huge advantage in this round.
Yeah, the 2 AKs both on Quicks and Awe. The Deagle, of course, for Downey with armor is still going to be extremely dangerous. Just using it to hold on to the A side. Quicks will get 1. Couldn't quite find another one. So Innocent and Sparrow both very, very low, trying to get into that site. Dominate is there with the 5-7, and that'll be enough. That close angle. It was even about to be checked, but it's just that one. I mean, it wouldn't have mattered because they were below 100, but still, it would have been a 1-shot at that range to the face with the 5-7. Quickly peeks out and takes the other before it can really be communicated where that player was. And, well, Publiclir will take it off of that. 8-5 now, but Gamers2 still going to be able to get those rifles. Publiclir have won the half, but they'd really like to make it 9-6 or 10-5, so they'll have to keep fighting and staying strong.
Gamers2, that's going to be a denting confidence blow for them, because that was a huge round for them to lose. Not only because, of course, they need rounds desperately, but because now they're in a position where they're going to be scrambling for weapons next round. They've pretty much committed into this one fully, given a lot of weapons across to their opponents as well. So Publiclir are now in good shape to buy up next round. Whatever happens here, Manise is being opened up from Connector through the smoke. 58 HP remaining. The Molotov lands right next to him. He does just about get himself away. Scurries off. The Publiclir have done a good job on the early stages of this round of just keeping Gamers2 on the back foot. However, there's still a lot of time to play with. Mihu gets himself picked off. Here comes the Tech-9 push, courtesy of Maniz. He's being pushed from behind, however. Does he know this is coming in? He did, but Quicks was too fast on the trigger. And Publiclir maintain their player advantage. It's important here that Mouse doesn't get this frag onto Quicks. He doesn't! What a flick shot from Quicks! My goodness, where was this guy on Cash?
I don't know. I mean, that's what I was wondering pretty much the entire time. I guess it didn't matter in the end because they did take the round, but... Let's see, 2-1-1 now. Sparrow was able to find Awe. Downey, though, puts him down. And that op for Downey. Zeta, who was really big and has been really big on both maps, will close out the round with a frag onto Innocent. 9-5 right now. Publiclir, I mean, I think at this point, if they don't get the last round, they've done just enough to stay with it. I mean, their T-side, if Cash was any indication, the T-side of Publiclir should be stronger, but Overpass, of course, a very different map, so we'll see. But a really good shot here in this last round. Again, just pistols, Tech-9, and armor coming out for Gamers2.
What I will say for Gamers2 is their CT side is a lot stronger on this map than it is on Cash. So if they can get 6, I think they'll be in really good shape. Even at 5, they can probably scrape by, but then of course the pistol round is that much more important.
Yeah.
Zeta is going to get the first rank regardless though. And Dominate, a bit needless there, honestly. You've got the first pick, you know there's a high chance that they're going to be on Tech-9 and P250s, and by pushing that, you're pretty much playing into the advantage of the terrorists. If you play slow and steady, you know they're not going to have many grenades to play with. You should close that round out, and that could have gave Gamers2 a huge second gust of wind here. With 1:05, it spreads the CTs out, but more importantly, now Gamers2 have the AK-47 in their own hands. Quicks is in a great position here, though. But he's been caught looking the wrong way, and he's been tagged down to 11 HP. He has to back away. I thought he was going to be in a great position to get information and potentially a couple kills.
Well, it looked like they could see him, but he could not quite see them. So he took a lot of damage. He tried to shoot back, but I don't think did anything. Zeta, though, rotating over now onto that B site. A grenade from Innocent's going to bring down Awe. Zeta, though, still kicking in the back. 3-on-3 now. Or Dominate, I mean, I agree with your analysis of that play. Should honestly still be alive, and just having that man advantage could make the difference here. But now Gamers2 with a good chance. The bomb is down. Lincoln's about to be caught off guard completely, and there he goes down. Quicks falls to Malzino. Zeta, though, evens it right back up with his CZ. He's been very big this round and these series. He's about to ace if he can find this kill, but no, only going to be limited to 4. Innocent finds him, and now in a 1-on-1. Innocent, doesn't know, but just assumes that Downey got off the bomb. Downey now being the aggressor with that deagle, but he's run out of time. And that'll be 6 rounds for Gamers2 on their T side. Boom.
Innocent playing the dangerous game there, assuming it would be a fake. I like the way he ran in and shot there before going around the corner, really keeping them guessing. But look at that from Zeta, 22 frags at half time. What a performance!
Yeah, man, he's been on point. It's been nice to see him. The last time actually Publiclir played, they didn't have Zeta either. They had who did they bring back? It wasn't Downey. It was Maxi, aka the Law, that they brought in. He used to play for them a while back. Played for them in the Pro Placement tournament, which obviously they did well enough in because they're in the Pro League, so they placed. But having to bring him back in for Zeta had a kind of, I don't know. I don't even remember how they did, to be honest. It wasn't too bad, but they did lose. And then now that Oz H isn't here and they're bringing back in Downey, I don't know, man. Publicler's in a rough spot, but obviously they're all just talented players. They are all Swedish at the end of the day. They know how to play CS, but I don't even know. I mean, I guess they won cash. So I would have to say it's Gamers2 that's looking a little rockier here, more so than Publiclir.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that assessment. And Publiclir, all things considered, yes, 9-6 isn't potentially the best CT side ever, but if they win this pistol, they're in great shape to potentially pick up Overpass as well. So a lot of the pressure does fall on Gamers2. Remember that, again, if you've just joined us, maybe you didn't hear this point before, in this standings, this is for the CEVO MLG Pro League, where the top 3 teams qualify for the LAN finals. Gamers2 are currently in 4th position with 10 points. Publiclir are rock bottom with 2 points. So this game, I would say, is a lot more important for Gamers2 than it is for Publiclir. Gamers2, if they were to lose this map, they get 0 points from this best of 2, which they would have been looking to potentially even win straight out. So this draw, honestly, could prove to be the determining factor of whether these guys go to the CEVO LAN or whether they don't. That's how important this is.
Yeah, and it's funny because Gamers2, Like they're almost done with their games. You said they played 10. This is 11. I think 14 is how many you have to play. So they're about done, and they'll probably finish and they'll just have to sit. Maybe it's only 12 you have to play. But they'll just have to sit and watch because Na'Vi is that team that you would expect to come up and get in third place, but they've only played 5 series, so they're just going to sit and watch Na'Vi, play all these games and just look as the gap closes, or maybe it doesn't. But I mean, the tie I think is enough to almost put them out of contention with a team like Na'Vi. If they lose here, I mean, they're probably done.
That's exactly it. And this is going to be in the back of their minds, they're going to realize the situation at hand and how important this is. And I wonder if that added pressure is what will end up breaking their back. Because, you just got to take each round at a time. Yes, they lost the first map, but it was an overtime. It wasn't a blowout from Publiclir. They're still in this map. It's going to be rough for them. You can see the push already. Is an effect from the terrorists. They have spotted out a couple of players in the form of Mouse. He's just going to pull himself back and try and lock down this site. But he's now through Connector. It's a real scrappy fight, but Azita will get the upper hand in the end. And now Quicks onto site, catches Mihu, napping, looking in the complete wrong direction. Great opening frags from Publiclir. Make that another one as Quicks with the USP just zeroes in on Innocent's head. And now the USPs are going to have to bounce back. Sparrow gets the first frag, but that bomb's been planted. And neither of the CTs have a defuse kit. This surely is going to be the 10th round for Publiclir.
Yeah, and like you talked about, if they can get the pistol and survive these ecos, I mean, that'll be great for them. It'll give them a 2-to-1 ratio lead there, 12-6. Can't ask for much more than that, but here you go, Malzino trying to work his way in. Will be gunned down, and there it is, 10-6. And I've actually turned my brain on, and I've got the details. I was thinking of the North American League where there's 13 teams, so they're playing... what is that going to be, 12 series each if you play every other team once? There's you and then 12 others. So you're playing 11 series in Europe as there's 12 teams. So it's Virtus Pro, Elite, and Existence that have all played 10 series. Gamers2 is at 9. So, I mean, this is their 10th right here. They'll be right up with the most played. Na'Vi, the least played, only down at 5. And also Nip at 6. So... some of the teams that you'd expect in the top 3 haven't quite played all that many matches. Na'Vi have actually taken a ton of losses as well. Or map losses. They've actually lost 1 whole series and then 2 ties, so that means they have dropped 4 maps overall, winning 4 maps. So they've actually started off a rough start. Could bode well for Gamers2, as Publiclir on round 17 are surviving.
Certainly bode well for them, but they have to make sure they get the draw here.
Yeah.
You can't hope for another team to lose a bunch of games, especially a team like Na'Vi, who on their day can pretty much beat anybody. So here we go, into the 17th round. Publiclir have got the bomb down. It was a forced buy-up from Gamers2, and they have been pretty much smashed this round. And Sparrow does get the final kill to take us to 11-6. So you're expecting 12-6. When we get to the 20th round, the 19th round, I should say, pardon me, that's where Gamers2 have to start bouncing back, because then they'll be running out of lifelines. If they were to lose the 19th round, they're looking at 13-6 deficit. That would likely be an assault rifle buy, and then Publiclir could even move 14-6. At that point, the alarm bells are ringing for Gamers2. So it's so important. We're saying they're on CT side, they can still bounce back. Yeah, but they're running out of time. They have to start mounting that comeback soon.
Yeah, I mean, round 19 is going to be when they've got to start, unless something crazy happens here. But they're kind of just, playing with pistols and running a default setup. I'm never really in love with that strategy. I like to see creative, kind of wonky strats come out with the pistols, try to surprise terrorists. But hey, maybe they were just taking some time to get their next round strat under wraps, and it will be easy cleanup. Quicks actually gets 3 kills with that MP7, so if he wants to maybe pull out that T-side op, he could easily do it with about 9 grand in the bank right now. But here we go, 12-6, and the first rifle round of the half. Vitally important to Gamers2 chances here on the second map.
This is simply massive for Gamers2. They have to win this round. I'm not going to say if they lose this that they're losing the entire matchup, but it definitely puts them at least a step out of this game for my money. So this is massive, and because they got no frags in that last round, and I completely agree with you. In these ecos, I'd like to see stacks. I'd like to see these rushes, these crazy things out of left field that will catch the T's off guard. They didn't do that. They got no kills. They got no extra money coming through to this round, and therefore they're a bit low on grenades, and they have no defuse kits. They've lost the first player. Quicks with the headshot, looking up onto toxic barrels. Mihu's dropped, who was their star player on the first map. And that is massive for Gamers2. And Publiclir now, although they have the bomb on long, so it's not going to be a B plant anytime soon, the rotation has came in thick and fast from Gamers2. They only have one player on A side, and he's got the kill. But it was very, very close there.
Oh my gosh, dude. That is just no head armor. Completely flanks Quicks, who was opping. Quicks misses the op shot, pulls out a USP, and 2 taps to the head because, you know, the CTs are skimping right there, but it still might not matter. Malzino brings down Awe. It's just Downey and Zita right now. 2 on 3. Bomb out towards the bathrooms at A, and actually very separated. Zita here over on the sandbags towards B. Really, there's cement, but whatever. Sandbags and CSGO. And Sparrow, yeah, easy cleanup for him. He was spotted and actually hurt by Innocent quite a bit. Malzino finds that kill onto Downey, and there it is. The first rifle goes the way of Gamers2. But we will have another one coming out here for Publiclir, so Gamers2 still got a tough road ahead of them.
And what was also massively important in that round is that Gamers2 won the round and they only lost 2 weapons. Because you saw there at the end, their economy was still pretty awful. So if they lost another weapon or 2, you're looking at FAMASs, you're looking at 5.7s, potentially with Kevlar. So now, because they only lost 2 weapons, easy drops from the rest of their team, grenades in, now they've got a real chance at bringing this one back. It's going to be tough though, especially as again Mihu's been picked off from the north. This time it's Downey, and look at this from Maniz, he's in no man's land. He's just walking through the water, no angles. He gets destroyed, and B now is completely open. Gamers2, what are you doing?
Yeah, I'm not sure, and Downey is already up in that window. Oh, calling for that boost over the wall here. It's a great spot for these CTs, though, to get some frags and even it right back up. They'll find one. They'll give up that boost because it has been spotted. And as a result, Zita knows to spam, and he catches Malzino in the face. Wow, just like that. 4 on 2. And still with a minute on the clock, Publiclir can do whatever they want, and it looks like they will reverse back, flip it up to that A site. Zita's still going to be left on the lurk.
I wonder at what stage Gamers2 are going to start to regret that Mirage ban. I wonder when that's going to start to come back, because we already talked about that. Statistically speaking, that has been by far their best map in the CEVO Pro League. Here we go though, Innocent with the retake, gets the first kill, but still 3 players to find and kill. And again, their economy is not fantastic, so this this could be a make or break moment. And yeah, the spanning through the wooden panels there is doing significant damage. Sparrow peeks up and gets his head took off the shoulders. Now Innocent realizes that, well, there's no chance of me defusing this bomb. Just save the AK and the Kevlar, and that gives Publiclir the 13-7 lead as we move forward to the 21st round. And man, Gamers2, they've looked shaky here. They definitely
Quicks
might
is moving very quick, and he's thunderfooting around, so it will give him a nice chance here. And yeah, Innocent finds another kill. So they went for the hunt. They didn't quite catch him, but 13-7 now. Gamers2, I mean, saving that 1 AK, Kevlar and a kit, but it's just going to be pistols, and another great shot for Publiclir to get just 2 away from closing out the map.
And
mainly thanks to Zita.
Look at the key differences as well, Helium, between the T side of Publiclir and Gamers2. As soon as Publiclir could afford to, they bought an AWP. And we didn't see an AWP on Gamers2 until, what, like the second half? Or the second quarter, I guess you could say, of the game? Sparrow only picked up the AWP towards the end, and I think that was off the corpse of one of the CT players anyway. So this AWP has been doing work. We've consistently seen the AWP getting the first couple frags, and again, Mihu goes walkies, and again he gets punished. Gamers2, they're throwing away so many needless deaths here, I've got to say. You see now that Mars is going to try and fill in the gaps. The bomb has been dropped. Maniz is pushing aggressively. It is a mixed match of weaponry, so you can kind of understand why this aggression's coming in, but still, it just hasn't paid off for Gamers2.
He's found the bomb. Uh-oh, but distracted by its explosiveness and caught off guard completely by that op of one of the Publiclir players. So, wow, just like that, round falls apart. I mean, able to do 2 kills. It looked like for a second they'd have a decent chance with Maniz on the flank and spotting out that bomb, but it falls apart quickly. Publiclir out to 14. Once again with the 2-1 lead, 14-7. Maniz on a FAMAS. No head armor across the board. No kits either. So the bomb goes down for Publiclir. Yes, rotations are fast on this map, but it's still going to make the takes very difficult. And actually, Sparrow does have head armor, so a little bit more in the tank for him. But let's see what they want to do. Looks like they're going out for some very aggressive mid control, but that's like the polar opposite of the strategy that Publiclir seems to be running. They're going very quickly with the B split. Very quickly.
Could play into the hands of Innocent.
No, Innocent.
Yeah. He pushed very aggressively, so he got the 2 frags on short, but his team is still falling to pieces on B side.
And no kits.
Yeah, this is the issue that you raised before, that if the bomb gets planted...
They actually have not planted it yet, though.
That's a bit surprising. I've got to say for the T's, and they could end up regretting that decision, because Mao's just from the boost, gets 2 quick-fire frags, dominate with the bomb, still has a lot of time to play with. Did he spot the play? I don't think he did.
So. Guess not.
Oh, I like this. He's kind of faking the rotation, and then he's coming back towards B. And you can see there's 2 CTs of left B sites. This is going to be a 1v1. Although Sparrow's quickly getting back into proximity of Dominate, who should get this kill onto Mouse. There we go. I like the idea, but Sparrow had already read the script. His spidey senses were tingling, and he does get into position, and he does get the frag. So big round for Gamers2. Did lose 3 players, though. That's going to hurt them.
Yeah, and I kind of got to wonder. I mean, I like the strat. They push out, just going for a quick B take, trying to be very aggressive on that T side, just catch Gamers2 off guard. But even if you're going very fast on the split, I feel like someone has to watch those stairs because it's such a vital position in the flank. I mean, you know if the CTs rush it, like they get there before the terrorist would anyways. So, like, you got to watch those doors, and that's where, you know, the backstab from Innocent came in and really won them the round and didn't feel confident in their sight hold and didn't plant the bomb. But here we go, another rifle round already. Oh, Malzino with the double spray down. Maniz getting the kill before that. Things going well for Gamers2. All the way, though, going to try to open it back up. So, winnable, right? 2-1-3, and Maniz on 5 HP. We'll see what Publiclir can do here if Gamers2 will hold tight.
Really like that play from Mouse. He's consistently been the long player, and the fact they got a frag on connector, they would not have expected the toilet player to still be there at that moment. So the fact that Mouse was there, he's like playing mind games with the terrorists, and it paid off in dividends. So he gets 2 frags for himself, gives his team the player advantage, but again, they've got to hold on fast because both these players, high hit points, there is a smoke in play, they have the bomb, a lot of those win parameters are in place for them. 38 seconds though, and still moving towards A. The CT's locking down. Only 1 defuse kit, which is on Maniz. 28 seconds, still moving in. This is going to be a tough one for the terrorists, especially Sparrow with that AWP should get this pick onto Downey as soon as he shows himself. No, he misses the shot! Oh my goodness.
He does get it though. On the second attempt.
Nice. I think he also tagged all the way through the box as well with the AWP. I think he hit the side of the box and then the grenade finished him off. So, man, I thought when Sparrow missed that shot, dude, I thought that was pretty much their chance thrown away. But they still just about hold on and get enough weapons to buy up. And Publiclir, they're going to be on eco.
Yeah, Gamers2, I mean, can't really afford to make a mistake or they'll be playing for the comeback and hitting a second OT in a series that, I mean, they were so favored in. I mean, we thought they were favored. The community on CSGO Lounge thought Gamers2 was extremely favored. Gamers2 probably thought they were favored. But look at that, man. A beautiful 4-man spray down, just shutting down that quick push towards that site. Almost gets the ace. Maniz was there to find that last one, though, after Mihu fell. And that's within 4, but rifles back in the hands of Publiclir. They really just need 1 more round, and then they can breathe. They can at least breathe a little bit. But, of course, don't want to just, you know, chill. They want to keep fighting, and they want to go for that win.
They are starting to turn this around on CT side, I will say. They've looked a bit more confident these last few rounds. The problem is, though, that because they've still find themselves 4 rounds behind, if they make 1 mistake, they're right up against it once again. They've got a bit of breathing room, as you say, if they win this round, but still, we've seen Publiclir beat Gamers2, what, 3 or 4 times on ecos with just pistols, so yeah. Even if they break the economy of Publiclir, that's not even a guarantee of a round. Like, crazy things can still happen from the Swedes.
And this round, we got 30 seconds now off the clock. A little bit of damage done, and Innocent going to pull out this boost, which can be very, very strong the first time you see it. And it looks like it's going to be anybody that'll be dominate that ends up peeking at Sparrow, going to find the pick off at long. And The downside, I suppose, of this position, they've got 3 people right by this sign. There's no fallback position for any of them, so if the shots are missed, this can very much collapse. And I think Downey, his legs might have just been spotted. Really hard to tell what the X already on, if he actually saw him or if it was through the wall. But either way, Gamers2 with the man advantage, 5-on-4. Bomb working towards that A site into those bathrooms for Publiclir.
Got really good positions for Gamers2 as well. If they just hold on to these and allow the terrorists to push in, this is something they sorely lacked on their cash. One of the reasons they were so poor on CT side is locking down positions when they had the advantages. There's Maniz forcing out the terrorists to make desperate plays. Sparrow gets one, realizes the second's probably there as well, and now Publiclir may be feeling like, okay, let's just save. It's a 5-on-2, chances of planting are minimal to none. Just save these weapons, take them forward through to the 26th round. But this is going to be a fast push from CTs. They're looking to take this AK-47 away from Dominate, who does get a lot of damage onto Mowers and nearly takes him down, actually. So, nice attempt from him, but Gamers2 do get their 11th round. And now, for the first time, I'm going to go ahead and say maybe the first time on Overpass, they find themselves in an economic position where they can feel quite comfortable.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it really comes down to, right? On those very CT-sided maps, if you can't get your economy to sort of stabilize and just start building up on the CT side, it makes it very difficult. And finally, they've done it, and I mean, not really a moment too late. They're at a point where if they lose a round, they can still have rifles, and that's like the very important place you want to be at on the CT side. And it is just, you know, another eco round coming up for Publiclir. Sparrow's actually going to miss that shot. Will get a second kill, or his first kill of a second chance, I meant to say, with that USP. And he brings it home. Downey with CZ and Kevlar. Then a 1-on-5, and he'll be spotted. He's brought down. And that is now, what, 5 in a row there for Gamers2, so looking very, very good. They got a 1-off win on the first rifle, so 6 on the half for them. They've got it within 2. But another rifle here for Publiclir, and again, any rifle round could be enough to at least get to OT.
Yes, that's exactly it. And Gamers2 will know that as well. But you just got to take one round at a time. They were 14-7 behind at one point, which just looked way too tall in order. This is a lot more doable. A lot better from their perspective. The T's are starting to slow down as well. We saw a couple of cheeky fast plays from Publiclir onto B site in particular. Now they've definitely put their foot on the brake. And doing so could be playing into the hands of Sparrow with that AWP, because he'll happily just peek all day long. And Innocent's in a good position here on the opposite side of the smoke. Does it, all he has to do is play his time, bide his time, not make the same mistake that Dominate did. And there's Maniz getting picked off from Quicks. So just when you think the Gamers2 could potentially clutch this round out, they've lost 2 players. Again, it's the barrel sneaking through the wall. And the T's have the player advantage.
Put that in the montage of when M4A1Ss get you killed. His barrel poking out from the wall. Easy frag there, and now the 4-on-3 advantage. But they still got to go into the sights. And Mihu will actually even it up. He finds Quicks out there over towards the construction water area. And let's see. We got some smokes. That's going to go... Are they trying to fake A, throwing those smokes and coming down through those stairs quickly? Mihu is reading this, though, perfectly so. The door opens, and immediately he finds 1 kill. A second, the guy coming on the top of the stairs, and a beautiful 3K for Mihu. 13-14, and they're about to tie it up. That was a 4K on the round for him, actually, and this will be the first time that this game has even been close, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, I guess, like, Publiclir turned it around, so you were tied up in round... I think round 6 is when it was tied 3-3, but since then it was all Publiclir dominating, and now Gamers2 about to bring it back, but Publiclir still with rifles in their hands here in round 28.
Yeah, and in that clutch as well, not in that clutch, but in that particular play of action there, hold that thought, because Mihu has dropped down. I was going to say, you want Mihu in that place on Connector, but he is the force to fall here, and because he's died, Maniz quickly follows suit. There's Innocent, though, lining up 2 players, gets the frag, information's been called, it's a B push, guys, Dominates on 3 HP, and there is a grenade and a Molotov in play from Gamers2, so if they can just get one of them locked down, it's definitely doable. Sparrow gets picked off, and this is the issue. When you're so far behind, it was 14-7, valiant attempt from Gamers2, but all of that work has somewhat been nullified because now Publiclir, the worst case scenario for them, Helium, is overtime. And if they win either of these rounds, they take this series 2-0, which will be a massive upset.
Yeah, I mean, For Gamers2 and their perspective of where they are in the standings, they'll have one more series to play after this. They want to try to cement. I mean, they're in a very shaky fourth place, could maybe go up to third place, but with this tie, it's going to be very, very rough. They'll have to hope that Mousesports and Navi start losing. But even then, there's potential that another team slips into third, like Titan or someone, who we're actually going to be seeing in our next series. But enough of that. Sparrow going to bring down Alway to start things off. Gamers2, they got to win 2 to push this back into OT. And will it be on the back of the Ops? Sparrow with a double kill. Maniz and Malzinho also on the board. It's just Downey by himself. He gets 1 kill. They know where he is. Sparrow looking for the triple, and he'll find it. It's within 1. And again, another map going the full 30 rounds. Will it be another OT, or will Publiclir take it?
Well, you look at their economy, and you're thinking, well, Gamers2 have got this, but I'm getting deja vu from Cash when we thought the exact same thing, and then Publiclir ended up winning the round. Although that time it was to save the map. This time it's to win it outright. It's going to be CZ, 3 Tech-9s, a P250, a bunch of grenades to play with, in Kevlar. Are they going to go for the fast push? You better believe they are. Flashbang over. It looks like a B take right now. As it's at taking point with the Tech-9's going to run into a Molotov. And then the grenade comes in and does minimal damage. Could have done a whole lot worse if they had pushed in. Dominate gets picked off from Maniz. Looking good for the Poles. Zita's very low. So is Alway. And they are starting to get picked off from Maniz. He gets himself 2 frags. Maybe too aggressive there. But the rest of his team is chiming in. Mihu should get this frag. And the bomb's been dropped outside of tunnels, which puts Downey in a horrific position coming through the smoke. And surprise, surprise, we're going to have overtime once again.
I mean, it really is. We say surprise, surprise, jokingly so, because there was OT on the first map, but I would definitely not have expected 2 OTs coming into this series. No way, and it looks like the players are ready to go for this now. Well, let's see, we had 2 overtimes on the first map, so this will be the 3rd OT of the day. 3-round halves, 6 rounds overall, and you start with 10K. So it's generally all rifles unless you give up 2 in a row. Let's see how it goes. It'll be Publiclir still on that T side. Gamers2 staying on CT.
This is too close for me to call, Helium. I honestly, this is a coin flip for me right now. I guess for momentum, you may slightly edge Gamers2, because the last 10-15 minutes have by and large been in their favor. But Publiclir, for a good 10-15 minutes, were just destroying Gamers2 on the T side, so let's see how this one shapes up. Dominate through connector. Player to his right-hand side. It's
what a shot!
The shot onto Mihu. That is fantastic reactions. He did get dinked, though, in the process. So he's very low, but what a flick shot.
Yeah, got that guy down through that little fence there. Oh, trying to jump spot. And Innocent, I mean, he gets that information. Oh, Zita's nade takes an odd bounce off that corner. But he's still working on holding on to that squeaky door area. Looks like the bomb is slowly trickling back towards middle and likely into the A site. Publiclir with that man advantage. Let's see. Quicks, once again. Oh my gosh. He legs another player just like that. On 14 HP, he was able to do so much, and that's going to be the Kobe from Dominate. He'll bring down Sparrow. Maniz is not quite... Okay, does actually bring in that kill. Molotov again, bouncing off a corner there. Unfortunate. 2 nades kind of botched. We're in a 2-on-2, though. Downey moving in. Will take down Innocent over the truck. Maniz rotating up from B, coming up the stairs, and will be caught completely off guard by Quicks, who pushes forward a little bit.
Couple of huge moments there. One is Quicks, take a bow, because first off, that shot on, I think it was Mihu, which broke the deadlock in that round, the first frag that we were both caught off guard with, was fantastic. But then getting the leg shot onto the second player, throwing over the grenade, getting the 3-pointer was just amazing. And that's pretty much what gave Publiclir the opportunity. There was a bit of a dirt Molotov that bounced off the wall the wrong side, but still Publiclir pick up that round. They keep the open play as well. And Gamers2 will be feeling the pressure because they've got a FAMAS. And again, the economy will start to play a part here unless Gamers2 start to get some frags. It's a 1-for-1 trade. There's the boost up shooting through the window of connector of Mihu. It's a cheeky spot that you don't see used too often. Quicks was heavy tank, gets finished off, and now Mouse is going to get the drop onto Alway. So this is a much better, more clinical round from His mission really now is to get a couple kills and put Gamers2 on the back foot going through to this last round, but it's not going to happen. They only lose Sparrow. So game well and truly back on.
Yep, all tied right back up. But of course, someone has to win at least the half. As it is, of course, you know, odd number 3 rounds. So let's see who will do it here. Coming again right down to the last one. We had, what was it, 2-1 splits going the way of the CT team on Cash.
Yeah.
Let's see if it'll be a similar situation on Overpass. I mean, you would expect it to be, right? It is that CT-sided map. And, all right, that was kind of weird. Sparrow, you know, was checking that flank. Thought he was going to get taken out there, even with his buddy around him, but he turns and finds the kill. Dominate down. Sparrow was low. Always going to even it back up with a kill onto Innocent. And Quicks is watching that flank, and a nice flick over to Mihu's face will make it a 4-on-3. And, oh, my gosh, he just starts spamming the drain, and Denise was just crossing to the other side. And, oh, man, that was... You can't get much unluckier than that, or luckier, depending on your point of view. And Zita will intercept Sparrow's rotation to the B site, and the round is falling apart for Gamers2. 4-on-1, Malzino the only one up, and I love when they end with a one-tap. It's so funny how the crosshair just locks in place after it ends. 17-16, though. Publiclir in the lead here into the second half of OT1.
I didn't quite catch who that player was on the receiving end of the Tech 9, but he just got rip and wrecked. That was ridiculous. Maniz just got completely spanked there through the smoke. And here's the thing, right, about Publiclir. They can all perform. Quicks, I think, was either bottom fragging or second bottom on Cash. He's now top. 29 frags. Zita's on 30 as well. So it's these two that are performing. Quicks had a really poor last map, which we both touched upon. But some of the shots he's been landing, especially in the business end of this map towards the end, has just been phenomenal. So now Gamers2, pressure cooker again. Standings are going to be in the back of their minds. This is such a crucial map for them to pick up, and they're going to be kicking things off now on T side. 19 rounds is that magic number, and Publiclir are so close to picking it up for themselves. They got an open play on Dominate. I'm going to quickly jump on board with him. He's got a fantastic spawn with this as well. He's quickly rushing straight through mid. He's going to be looking for that pick, but unbeknownst to him, nobody's home. They're pushing on B.
All right, and yeah, pushing on B indeed. Zita and Alway. Alway actually finds 2 just like that, so locking it down. Dominate, even with that fantastic spawn, just didn't run into anybody, so he's taking a very long rotation back to that B site now, where it is Innocent and Mihu on 4 HP. Mihu, yeah, I mean, he gets tagged. I mean, he just gets looked at in a mean way by Alway, and he goes down. Innocent will find at least 1 frag for his team. Malzino has the other, but still at a 1-on-3. This is going to be very difficult. As, let's see, he's still fighting for it. He's got 2 kills right now. 16 HP. But he will peek out into the crosshair. And I feel the need, I should probably do a PSA. Producer's computer is having some issues right now. The stream in CSGO are still running fine, but he can't really have any input, so he can't correct the camera when it goes a bit bonkers, as Auto Director does. So sorry for some of the odd camera angles. But that's what we've got going down right now. We'll restart it into the next series, LGB Titan coming up after this. But for OT, we're stuck with maybe some wonky cameras. Hopefully you'll bear with us, as it's 18-16. Possibly only 1 more round. Publiclir could close it out here and take the series 2-0 as a result.
Dominate's position already. He rushes so fast up long. They had no idea what was about to come against them. He does get taken down, but my god, he was nearly at long playground before the T's were. That was insane.
He was charging it, man. Got those stim packs.
They would not have been expecting that. You could see them get caught completely off guard. A couple players with their knives out, but look at this. Gamers2 refusing to go down without a fight, realizing that if Publiclir pick up this round or the next one, they will take the 2-0 and cause a huge upset here in the CEVO MLG Pro League. It's down to a 2-on-2. It's really going down to the wire. This is the second consecutive map into overtime, and Zita gets the frag on Mouse. He shouldn't have. That leaves Innocent in a horrible position. He gets dropped, and that's going to be the GG. Publiclir take it 2-0. I never would have guessed that would have been the scoreline. I said right off the start, I think Gamers2 will 2-0 this game comfortably. I was proven completely wrong.
As was I, and as was, I think, 94% of the people who bet on this match. So I mean, that's pretty impressive stuff for Publiclir. Also, switching up their 5, they've been using Dominate and Oz H in there as those 4th and 5th men for so long. They bring Downey back into this one as Oz H steps down or wasn't around or who knows what. But great performance there by Publiclir. It's a shame, really, that they're in the bottom of the pack because, I mean, they're a team that is pretty solid. Gamers2, though, maybe have just forfeited their